Step 1. Have you ever picked up a single penny and wondered whether it was hiding an incredible story? Most people overlook 1-cent coins because they seem too common to matter. They fall into jars, disappear under couch cushions, and are often ignored in everyday transactions. But every once in a while, an ordinary-looking Lincoln cent captures the attention of collectors across the United States. Today, we are exploring one of the most fascinating modern pennies ever produced, the 2009 D. Abraham Lincoln Bicentennial cent. At first glance, it may look like just another penny, but behind its small size lies a remarkable story of American history, artistic design, collector excitement, and the possibility of discovering a truly special coin. The year 2009 marked an unforgettable milestone in American history. It was the 200th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in United States history. To honor this occasion, the United States Mint created a special one-year series of Lincoln Bicentennial cents. Instead of using the same reverse design found on Lincoln cents for decades, the Mint introduced 4 different designs, each representing a different chapter of Lincoln's life. This made 2009 one of the most exciting years for modern penny collectors because Americans suddenly had 4 unique Lincoln cents to search for in their pocket change. Your coin is the professional life in Illinois design. On the reverse, Abraham Lincoln stands proudly in front of the Illinois state capitol. This design celebrates the period of his life when he worked as a lawyer, developed his leadership skills, and prepared for the political career that would eventually lead him to the presidency. Around the design appear the familiar inscriptions United States of America, 1 cent, and E pluribus unum. Every detail was carefully created to honor Lincoln's achievements during one of the most important periods of his life. On the front of the coin appears Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, first introduced in 1909. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 2009. The small D mint mark beneath the date tells collectors that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. During 2009, millions of these coins were produced and released into circulation. They quickly entered banks, stores, restaurants, and cash registers across America, where they became part of everyday commerce. While most were spent without a second thought, many collectors immediately recognized their historical importance and began saving complete sets of all 4 bicentennial designs. One reason these coins remain popular is their historical significance. Rather than celebrating Lincoln only as president, the Bicentennial series tells the story of his entire journey, from humble beginnings to national leadership. Every reverse design represents a different stage of his life, allowing collectors to hold a miniature timeline of American history in their hands. This educational approach made the series especially popular among families, teachers, and beginning collectors. Although millions of 2009 D Lincoln cents were struck, collectors know that not every coin survives in outstanding condition. Many entered circulation immediately and gradually accumulated scratches, marks, and wear. Others remained safely stored in mint rolls or coin albums, preserving their original luster and sharp details. Those beautifully preserved examples naturally attract stronger collector interest because they show the coin almost exactly as it appeared when it left the Denver Mint. Modern coin collecting teaches an important lesson. Age alone does not determine value. A newer coin can become desirable if it has a genuine mint era, exceptional preservation, or strong collector demand. The 2009 D Lincoln Bicentennial cent is a perfect example. Most circulated coins are worth only a small amount above face value, while outstanding uncirculated examples or authenticated mint eras can command much higher prices. Understanding that difference is one of the first steps toward becoming a knowledgeable collector. The story of the 2009 D Lincoln Bicentennial cent is about much more than money. It represents American history, artistic craftsmanship, and the excitement of discovering something meaningful in everyday pocket change. Every time someone finds one of these coins, they are holding a small tribute to Abraham Lincoln's remarkable life and one of the most memorable 1-cent coin programs ever created by the United States Mint. As the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cents spread across the United States, collectors immediately noticed that this was unlike any ordinary penny released in previous years. For the first time in decades, Americans could follow Abraham Lincoln's life through 4 different reverse designs, each representing a major chapter of his remarkable journey. The professional life in Illinois design quickly became one of the favorites because it captures Lincoln standing confidently before the Illinois state capitol, symbolizing the years when he built his reputation as a lawyer and statesman before becoming the 16th president of the United States. Every coin became a tiny history lesson that millions of people could carry in their pockets. Although millions of 2009 Lincoln cents were struck at the Denver Mint, collectors soon realized that not every coin was exactly the same. Like every major minting operation, the United States Mint occasionally produced coins with unexpected manufacturing mistakes. These genuine mint errors were never planned, but they became highly desirable because they were produced in limited numbers. Off-center strikes, die cracks, die chips, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and certain double-die varieties are among the errors that collectors carefully search for. These mistakes happen during production, making them far more interesting than ordinary damage caused after the coin entered circulation. One of the biggest mistakes made by beginners is believing that every old or unusual-looking penny is automatically valuable. In reality, experienced collectors know that authenticity is everything. A scratch, dent, stain, or discoloration usually occurred after the coin left the mint and generally does not increase its value. Genuine mint errors have distinctive characteristics that specialists recognize immediately because they were created during the striking process itself. Learning this difference helps collectors avoid disappointment and appreciate the true rarity of authentic error coins. Condition is another factor that greatly influences collector value. A heavily worn 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cent that has spent years in circulation usually remains close to its face value. However, a coin that still displays brilliant original mint luster, sharp design details, and very few contact marks is much more desirable. Collectors compete for these high-grade examples because so many of the original coins entered circulation and gradually lost their fresh appearance. Preserving a coin in its original state is often more important than many people realize. Professional grading services play a major role in today's coin market. When collectors believe they have discovered an exceptional coin or a genuine mint error, they often submit it for authentication and grading. Specialists carefully examine the surfaces, confirm the variety, and assign a numerical grade based on internationally recognized standards. A certified coin gives buyers greater confidence because its authenticity and condition have been independently verified. This is why certified examples often attract stronger collector demand than uncertified coins. Many exciting stories circulate online claiming that ordinary Lincoln pennies are worth enormous fortunes. While a few truly extraordinary coins in American history have sold for remarkable prices, the average 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cent is not worth millions of dollars simply because it exists. The coins that command the strongest prices are those with verified mint errors, exceptional preservation, or other rare characteristics recognized by the collecting community. Understanding this reality allows collectors to focus on genuine discoveries rather than exaggerated claims. Perhaps the greatest value of the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cent is its historical importance. Every time someone examines this penny, they are reminded of Abraham Lincoln's extraordinary journey from a small-town lawyer in Illinois to one of America's most respected presidents. The coin honors determination, education, leadership, and service to the nation. Those qualities make it meaningful even to people who have never collected coins before. If you discover a 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cent that appears unusual, avoid cleaning it or attempting to improve its appearance. Cleaning often leaves tiny scratches that reduce collector appeal. Instead, hold the coin by its edges, place it in a protective holder, and compare it with known genuine varieties. If you believe you have found an authentic mint error, consider having it evaluated by a reputable coin dealer or professional grading service. As our journey through the 2009 Abraham Lincoln Bicentennial cent comes to an end, one lesson stands above all others. Great collections are built through patience, observation, and knowledge. Every coin has a story, but only careful study reveals what makes one example ordinary and another truly special. Whether your Lincoln cent remains worth 1 cent or proves to be an exceptional collector's item, it represents an unforgettable chapter in American history and one of the most memorable coin programs ever produced by the United States Mint. The next time you receive change from a store, don't ignore the pennies in your hand. Take a closer look at the date, the mint mark, and the reverse design. You might not discover a rare era coin, but you will gain a deeper appreciation for the history carried by every Lincoln cent. And sometimes, that curiosity becomes the beginning of a lifelong passion for coin collecting. Step 2. Sometimes the smallest coin in your pocket carries the biggest story. Imagine reaching into your change after buying a cup of coffee and finding an ordinary-looking penny dated 2009 with a small D mint mark beneath Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Most people would spend it without another thought, but experienced collectors know that 2009 was unlike any other year in the history of the Lincoln cent. This tiny coin was created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it became one of the most memorable modern pennies ever released by the United States Mint. While millions entered circulation, a handful of outstanding examples and genuine mint errors continue attracting serious attention from collectors who appreciate both history and rarity. The story of this coin begins long before it was struck. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a simple log cabin in Hardin County, Kentucky, now known as LaRue County. His family lived a humble frontier life, surrounded by forests and farmland. They were not wealthy, and daily life required hard work from sunrise until sunset. Yet even under these difficult conditions, the young Lincoln developed an intense desire to learn. Books were scarce, but whenever he found one, he read it repeatedly. Those early years of determination and curiosity eventually shaped the character of a man who would become one of America's greatest presidents. To honor that remarkable journey, the United States Mint released 4 different Lincoln Bicentennial reverse designs during 2009. Each design celebrated a different stage of Lincoln's life. The coin shown in your image is the early childhood in Kentucky design. The reverse portrays a young Abraham Lincoln sitting on a log while reading a book, with split rails and a rustic landscape surrounding him. Above the design appears United States of America, while 1 cent is prominently displayed to the left. Along the bottom is the familiar national motto, E pluribus unum. Every detail reminds collectors that great leaders often begin in the most ordinary circumstances. The front of the coin preserves Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Lincoln, first introduced in 1909. Around the portrait appear "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2009. Beneath the date sits the small D mint mark, identifying the coin as a product of the historic Denver Mint. Millions of these cents were struck there using high-speed presses capable of producing hundreds of coins every minute. Despite this incredible precision, each coin still represents the careful craftsmanship of the United States Mint and the artistic vision behind the Bicentennial program. When these pennies entered circulation, they immediately captured public attention. Children searched through jars of spare change, hoping to collect all 4 Bicentennial designs. Parents introduced their families to coin collecting through these affordable and historically meaningful coins. Banks distributed fresh rolls to eager collectors, while dealers assembled complete Bicentennial sets almost as quickly as the coins were released. Few modern 1 cent coins generated this level of nationwide excitement, proving that history could still inspire millions of Americans through everyday pocket change. Fresh from the Denver Mint, every Bicentennial cent displayed brilliant mint luster. Under bright light, the surfaces reflected a beautiful cartwheel effect as the coin was tilted from side to side. The lettering appeared razor-sharp, Lincoln's portrait showed remarkable detail, and the reverse design looked crisp and clean. Unfortunately, most of these coins soon entered circulation, where years of everyday use gradually reduced that original brilliance. Coins rubbed together inside cash registers, pockets, purses, and vending machines, collecting tiny scratches that slowly changed their appearance. For collectors, preserving that original condition is extremely important. Two coins with the same date and mint mark can have very different collector values depending entirely on preservation. An uncirculated coin that still looks nearly identical to the day it left the mint will usually attract far more interest than one that has circulated heavily for years. This is why experienced collectors often store exceptional examples inside protective holders immediately after finding them. Preserving originality is one of the most important principles in modern numismatics. Another reason collectors enjoy the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cent is the possibility of discovering genuine mint errors. Although quality control at the United States Mint is extremely high, no manufacturing process is completely perfect. Occasionally, unusual events occur during production that create coins unlike the majority released into circulation. Collectors carefully search for authentic off-center strikes, die cracks, die chips, clipped planchets, and certain double die varieties. Because these unusual coins originated during the minting process itself, they remain some of the most exciting discoveries for modern Lincoln cent enthusiasts. Perhaps the greatest lesson this penny teaches is that history and curiosity often travel together. Every collector who examines a 2009 Bicentennial cent is reminded that even the smallest coin can preserve an extraordinary story. From a humble Kentucky log cabin to the presidency of the United States, Lincoln's journey continues to inspire people around the world. This tiny 1-cent coin celebrates perseverance, education, and determination, qualities that remain just as meaningful today as they were more than 2 centuries ago. As collectors spent more time studying the 2009 early childhood in Kentucky cent, they realized that its importance extended far beyond its face value. This coin represented the beginning of Abraham Lincoln's remarkable life story, reminding Americans that one of the nation's greatest leaders started with humble beginnings on the Kentucky frontier. That powerful message made the Bicentennial series unique. Instead of honoring only Lincoln's presidency, it celebrated the determination, education, and perseverance that shaped his character long before he entered the White House. Every coin became a miniature history lesson carried in the pockets of millions of people. While the Denver Mint produced millions of these cents, experienced collectors know that not every coin survives in the same condition. Some were placed into circulation immediately after leaving the mint, where years of use left them with scratches, dull surfaces, and worn details. Others were carefully preserved in original mint rolls or collector albums, allowing them to retain their bright copper color and original mint luster. These high-quality survivors are naturally more desirable because they show the coin almost exactly as it appeared on the day it was struck. The excitement surrounding the 2009 Bicentennial cents also encouraged collectors to search carefully for genuine mint errors. Every coin begins its life as a blank planchet before passing through powerful presses that strike the design onto both sides. Although the mint maintains strict quality standards, mechanical problems occasionally create unusual coins. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, die chips, and certain double die varieties are among the authentic mint errors that specialists seek. These coins are unusual because the differences occurred during the manufacturing process itself rather than after years of circulation. One of the most common misunderstandings among new collectors is believing that every unusual mark automatically makes a coin valuable. In reality, many marks appear only after a coin enters circulation. Scratches from other coins, dents caused by dropping the coin, or discoloration from environmental exposure are generally considered damage rather than collectible mint errors. Experienced numismatists carefully compare a coin's characteristics with known varieties before determining whether it represents a genuine production mistake. Knowledge and patience remain the most valuable tools any collector can possess. Professional grading has become an important part of the modern coin market. Independent grading companies examine coins under magnification, evaluate their condition, and verify whether unusual features are authentic mint errors. They then assign a numerical grade that reflects the coin's overall preservation. High-grade certified examples often attract stronger collector demand because buyers can purchase them with greater confidence. A beautifully preserved 2009 Bicentennial cent in an outstanding mint state grade is far more desirable than an ordinary circulated example, even though both coins were struck during the same year. Many dramatic stories appear online claiming that ordinary 2009 pennies are worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. While there have been rare US coins that sold for extraordinary prices, an ordinary 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cent does not automatically carry that kind of value. The coins that command the strongest prices are typically those with documented mint errors, exceptional preservation, or rare varieties verified by respected grading services. Understanding this distinction helps collectors make informed decisions instead of relying on sensational headlines. Perhaps the greatest achievement of the early childhood in Kentucky cent is the inspiration it provides. The reverse design shows a young Lincoln reading despite the challenges of frontier life. It reminds collectors that education, curiosity, and determination can overcome difficult circumstances. That message continues to resonate with people around the world, making this small copper coin meaningful far beyond its monetary denomination. Few modern circulating coins combine historical storytelling and artistic symbolism as effectively as the 2009 Bicentennial series. If you discover a 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cent in your change, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look for strong design details, original color, and any unusual characteristics that might indicate a genuine mint error. Avoid cleaning the coin, since cleaning can permanently reduce collector appeal. Instead, store promising examples in a protective holder and compare them with known authenticated varieties. Even if your coin proves to be a normal circulation piece, preserving it properly ensures that it remains part of one of the most memorable chapters in modern American coinage. As our journey through the 2009 early childhood in Kentucky Lincoln cent comes to an end, one truth remains clear. The real treasure of this coin is not an unrealistic promise of overnight riches, but the extraordinary story it preserves. It honors the early years of Abraham Lincoln, celebrates one of the most successful commemorative coin programs in modern U.S. history, and encourages millions of people to look more closely at the coins they handle every day. Whether your coin is worth 1 cent, a few dollars to a collector, or more because it has a genuine, authenticated mint error, its greatest value lies in the history, craftsmanship, and inspiration it carries. Every Lincoln cent is a reminder that remarkable journeys often begin with the smallest steps, and sometimes with the smallest coin.